Welcome all. Today we are taking a look at austerity. We're in charge of the nation's finances, and this brings along a host of difficult budget decisions. How will we spend? Who will be funded? Will we borrow? And how are we going to pay that debt off as we try our very best to avoid being kicked out for failing the economy? Now, this one is low complexity. It plays solo only. It says it takes about 10 to 20 minutes, but this can vary. And we can see the designer with this one being web published. Okay, let's take a closer look as I bring you a solo playthrough today. Okay, here we have it, austerity. Literally this A4 printed sheet. You could stop this video, go on the Board Game Geek, search austerity and print this out. And all you need are these tokens on the side. So I've got 5 cubes, which are literally going to go on these 5 tracks. And we've got 3 of these cubes, 1 for private enterprise at the far left, 1 for national security and 1 for social welfare. And we've got some tokens here. Now, obviously, you're going to need some tokens randomly at home from other games to be able to play this. So I've got matching colours. And just a quick one. I'm not going to go all in the rules because it's not really that many rules. I'm just going to go straight in and do it's a solo game, as you already know. So solo playthrough. And it's literally just about managing that debt. And if you have no debt left, which are these black cubes, at the end of when this bag has been emptied, that's sort of like a year, and if there's none left in the use pile, you win. But obviously you're potentially going to lose if one of these cubes here hits the bottom shaded track, just one of them, and you're in trouble then. So what we're going to do then, we've got a starting setup of 2 red cubes, which represent the crime and unrest. We've got 4 black tokens, which are debt. We've got an income, which is yellow. White represents your welfare. And we've got 2 blue, which represents security and policing. And I've got this red bag here. I'm just going to plonk them in there. So I give them a good shuffle and I've no idea what's coming out. Now, this is the sort of basic game. You've got a host of goodies you can print off to sort of mix it out. You've got the welfare state here. You've got small government. Now, what these do is you put them to the side. When you meet certain conditions, you can utilise them and turn them, and then it sort of reminds you it's neutral when it's turned, and then you flip it. So welfare state, you may fund a social welfare multiple times in a single year, so you can place up to 2 of these white tokens in the treasury at once. Now, I won't go through all the descriptions, but you've got protectionism, free trade, but they really add some nice flavour and mix the game up a lot. So lawless, you're going to be putting a lot more riot tokens, so that's a bit of variety. You've also got some extra bolt-ons at the bottom, so higher education can help improve your employment and wealth. You've got investment to get more income and infrastructure. And you finally got there's 2 more things. You've got some scenarios. So you've got economic crash, Olympics, war footing, and organised crime. Now, I had a lot of fun with organised crime. And what else? You've got some different starting setups. So dictate sort of a tin pot dictatorship. So this is what you're putting in the bag. So very a different setup compared to what we've just gone in the base game. You've got capitalist democracy, socialist republic, liberal democracy. So, give those a go, but we're avoiding all those today and literally going with this basic setup where they all start on 5, and we've got those specific cubes in the bag. Now, what do you do first then? You're literally just taking 2 of these, I'll call them cubes, even though they're little tokens, but you're drawing 2 of these out the bag and you plonk them in current affairs at the top, and they're kind of working down into this used box. Now, what have we got here? So this is where you're going to place your 2. And you'll see now that we have to make a decision and look at the cube draw results. So we've got a black and a red, which is here, political corruption. So we are decreasing the popularity by 1. There's a lot of debt and there's a lot of riots. So there's political corruption, it says. So popularity is this one here. It's going down by 1. Our nation is not as popular. We're not doing a grand job. And then it says, do your cuts. Now, cuts are where you look at the bottom, and these are your sort of national organisations, and you're going to have to make a cut based on the matching icons. So you can see On private enterprise, we match a black and a red. We also match a black and a red on national security, and there is no black and red on social welfare. So we have the choice to make cuts at one of these establishments. Now, we're going to reduce our national security or private enterprise. Now, if we ever get down to this bottom action, so you got 3, you go 1, 2, 3. When you get down here, you're going to get -2 on your employment because we've made cuts to our private enterprise. We're not funding that industries. And then we've got national security. If we ever get down here, we're going to be adding a riot to the bag, and that add it to the U section. And that's not good because we've got more riots in the bag, more potential, and the national security is weakened. So which one we're going to go for? I'm going to go for national security, and no decision's a nice decision in this game. Now what we do is we plonk these down here, and that is it, use. Now you can look in the bag at any time you want. I'm going to draw the next 2 out. Oh my days, we've got same again, black and a red. Okay, so we got a decreased popularity, political corruption, and we're going to do some cuts, and we're going to mix it up. We'll go private enterprise this time. And again, we've used those. Now, at any time during your turn, as long as you've not drawn the last singular one or the last 2 out the bag, basically as long as the bag ain't empty, you can do any of these 3 actions as many times as you want and as often or before or after. Borrow money, so you can add 2 income cubes to the used section. And you'll notice the next one is add to the bag. So there's a difference, add to here and add to the bag, a debt cube. So do we want to add some income and add some black debt in here? Next thing we could do is raise taxes. So we could immediately add to the bag an income cube in yellow and a riot token. And then finally we could pay a loan. So we could remove 2 income, which would be from here, and we can get rid of a debt for doing so. Okay, so I'm torn between raising taxes and maybe borrowing some money because how many yellows? I'm going to look in the bag. There was only, I think it was only 1 income, wasn't it, to start off with? So this is what we've got in play. I've got more black to come out, but I need the income. Okay, and I'll sort of show you how you're going to get income as well, hopefully in a bit. So I'm going to borrow money. So I'm adding income to the used pile, and I'm putting some debt into the bag. I'm also going to raise taxes, which is probably going to cause riots. So I'm adding these 2 to the bag. So you can do that as many times as you want. Okay, let's give this a shuffle. 2 more out. What have we got? We've got a yellow in income and a welfare. So where are we? Nationalised healthcare spending. We're going to increase health by 2. Okay, health has gone up by 2. Now, you could see the other cubes, the debt and the rights, they sort of come here. And the debt is triggering, typically bad things down here. No matter what the black token is with, it's going to trigger a cut of some sorts. And that reminds you on here because it says, cuts. Now, this one, you'll see it says, well, it doesn't say on here, but an income, you can actually spend this income now. You've done the benefit of here. We'll get rid of the white cube. Now, what we're going to do with this income, we can either put it in our treasury, which could be used in future if one of these says spend. So where is the word spend? Here we go. Underfunded police force. We could spend a cube when that particular combo comes out, or we can add cuts. So it's basically spend in your treasury to avoid potential rioting because you've got an underfunded police force. Or you can use this straight away and add it 1 time per year onto one of these locations. So we could gain an employment by going here, which means we just bump that up. We could gain a blue to the used pile. We could gain a white to the used pile. Now, this has no effect on where the locations of these cubes are. It's just gaining a benefit. Now, if I go for employment, you can see the more employed there are in this nation, you've got these sort of little income markers. And at the end of the year, you're going to get paid that income. So if we manage to get to 9 and 10, we're going to get 2 income. And you can see below 5, we're not getting any income because obviously there's not enough people in the job force. But then we're going to go for police because I know I've got a lot of reds and there's a lot of rioting. Or if I go for social welfare, that can really pay me dividends. There's back to work programs which increase employment by 2 in the long run. I think I'm going to go social welfare. So I take
one of these white tokens and put it in the use pile. Now, these tokens aren't limited. Grab as many as you can from other games, and they never sort of are limited by any means. So we now draw another 2. Okay, let's see what damage we can do. And I could do any of these other actions if I want. A blue and a red. So that is special operations. We can either remove a blue and a red, or we reduce public safety by 1. So either remove a blue and a red, or reduce. So are we going to remove these 2, or we're going to reduce public safety by 1? Now, I'm going to remove them. So it's reducing our what should we call it? Our national security, but we've eliminated some rioting, and I'm going to do that. So they just go into the supply then. Let's see what else we got. 2 more. Okay, so a black and a yellow, so a debt and an income. Early repayment, so optionally we can spend an income to remove this debt, or we can do cuts, because you can see down here you got your black and your yellow would reduce employment and your social welfare. So what we're going to do, and the reason that is, it's an option to keep the income in play, because it will reduce our funding here, but then we get to spend it, either put it in the treasury or bump up one of these. Now, in terms of spend, then you can spend from either your current affairs here or your treasury as well. Okay, so what are we going to spend? I'm going to remove it. Okay, so I'm going to literally take these 2 options. We're spending this to remove the debt. So the income's paid off the debt, basically. Okay, let's keep going. How many's left in the bag? 3, I think. Okay, we've got a black and a blue. So that is underfunded police force again. We could spend an income or add a red cube and cuts. So we haven't got income to spend because there's none with it in the current area, and there's none in the treasury. So we're going to just have to take a red. Oh, this isn't looking good, is it? So we're adding a red, and we've also got to do our cuts. So I've moved that too quick. That was a black and a blue, wasn't it? So we're either going to do national security or social welfare. Let's do one on social welfare. Okay, what else we got in the bag? The remaining cube is debt. Now, if there's just 1 cube left in the bag and you've revealed it, you ignore it. If it's a debt, lucky you, you've avoided, that negative there. And if it was an income, you also avoid the benefits of an income as well. Okay, so we put this here, and that is literally the end of the year. Now, at the year end, we've got to do a few bits and bobs. So we check if we've won. Are there any black cubes here? Yes, there are. So we've not won. We win if there's no black cubes at the end of the year, because we've paid off our debt. We've managed our finances well. Now we're going to collect tax revenue next. So we look where our cube is there. We're getting 1 income. So we'll just add that to the use pile for now. Resolve advance cards. So we haven't got any advance cards in this game, but some of these have certain checks you need to do. Now we adjust the wealth towards employment. So this is the wealth. It's even with employment, so it's going nowhere. We adjust the health towards public safety. So health is going down because it's going towards public safety. We then adjust popularity towards wealth first. So it's going up 1 towards wealth, and then it goes towards health. So we go 1 up to health. So you can see your nation, they're healthy, which makes you more popular. They're fairly wealthy, and public safety is good, so they're popular. So your popularity swings based on where these are on the barometer. Okay, you then add all these back to the bag, including these ones here. Any you'd spent on there. Now, if you did have any of these income marks in your treasury, they stay there. They can't come back in the bag, and they can only be used to spend on here. You can't use them to spend and do these, because then they'd cycle back in the bag. Okay, we're back around now. Now let's have a little look at what we just put in. I should have done that before I shoved them all in. So we've got some income in there, and we've got a lot of debt. So maybe I want to add Maybe I want to borrow some money. Okay, let's see how we get on first. So we're going to take 2 out of the bag. We've got a red and a black. So we're decreasing popularity by 1. We've got political corruption. So what did that say? Decreased popularity. People aren't happy. And we got to do cuts as well. So we're going to go for... I really don't want to do an employment. So we're going to go national security. Okay, 2 more. Let's see what we have. So we have got the option 2, early repayments. So we could spend this to remove that. Now if I don't, I've got cuts which should be on my social welfare. But it gives me an income queue. I'm going to get rid of it. It's gone. Okay, 2 more coming out. Here we go. So we've got a black and a white one, which is a welfare budget problem. Ouch. So we can spend a income or reduce our health by 1. So we're going to have to reduce our health by 1, which is why you might want some income stashed away in your treasury. And we have to do cuts as well. So we've got a black and a white icon for private enterprise, and we've got social, but we're going to go social welfare because I think I'd rather, they're probably all going to trigger at some point. I think I'd rather a reduction in health than employment for now, because that could be my revenue. Now, we've sort of gone through what add is. You add them to your used area. We've got add to the bag. Now, remove is slightly, if you have to remove a cube, you have to remove it in order from your current area first and out of the game. And if there's nothing there, then you can remove it from the used area and then the treasury. So there's a certain flow to when you have to remove things, sort of top downwards. And spending, you can remove it either from your treasury or your current area. So just bear that in mind. Okay, so 2 more coming out. White and a black. What bad stuff's happening now? The welfare cheats. Oh my days. Decrease employment by 1. So employment has gone down by 1. And there's no cuts on that one, so they can just go here. Now, I'm looking at the bag and I'm thinking, it's not looking too bad. I got a lot of income on the way. Now, I can either have a really good time with this income now, or I think I'm gonna borrow money, which means I'm adding a black in. This is technically the bag. And I'm adding 2 yellow here, so you can see, in the long run, on the next year, if I can survive, I'll have more income. Now, I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to put another black in here, and I'm going to put 2 more yellows here. And I'm actually going to raise taxes as well, which is add to the bag. So I'm adding an income and a riot into the bag. So that's how the bag looks. Give it a good shape. So I'm really setting myself up as a government for funds on the next round. Wow, so double income then. So I've got a budget, which is bad actually because there's a lot of blacks and reds remaining in there. So we've got budget surplus. We're going to increase the wealth by 1. The nation's getting wealthier. Now we may spend both cubes to fund a single already funded institution. So if we had have funded this one already, we could do it again and spend both well, spend would be mean they'd go out of the actual out of the actual board. So we're not that desperate. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 1 in treasury, because I feel like we've missed a few opportunities to have some backup income there, and we are going to go social wealth. We're going to go social welfare, and we're going to add a white cube. Now I've had joy with adding investing in the welfare, because eventually, if you do get double whites, you get an increased employment by 2, and that's a long-term strategy for me. Okay, so we've got a bit of money in the treasury as well. Right, black and red. We've got political corruption, so we're decreasing popularity by 1, and cuts. So we're going to go employment then. A yellow and a red is anti-austerity protest. So I either remove a yellow, so we'd have to start from here and then here, and the red, or increase popularity by 1 and add debt. So if we don't want to remove these, we can increase popularity and add debt. So let's do that. So we're going to increase our popularity by 1. Let's just check this. So we're not going to do that, and we're going to add another debt, which means we've still got this combo of income to use. So we'll get rid of that one, and we're going to spend this one to add some national security, because we've got a lot of reds starting to pop up there. Now let's have a little look at the bag then. This is our remainder. Okay, interesting. I'm not sure whether I want to take any of these actions just yet. Now remove, you can see pay a loan, so I could spend 2 to get rid of a debt, and remember it comes from the current first and then the use. So do I want to take 2 of these for 1? Probably not. Okay. Oh dear, we've drawn 2 blacks, and this is an economic downturn, folks. So we're going to reduce the wealth by 1. People are not as wealthy, and increase cuts on every institution by 1. Oh dear, we've triggered all of them. So what happens here then? We're going to get -2 employment. We're going to add some rioting to the used, and then our health is going down too. But then we reset them all back to the furthest left, so we've got a bit of breathing space now. These 2 come down, and I think we've done enough damage there. So I know in the bag that there's a yellow and a blue, and that's going to trigger the end of the year. But I can do one of these actions, which could be to add 2 more yellow here and add a black to the bag. So do I mind having a black in this bag here? The worst that can happen would be a black and a blue, which would mean I'd have to spend this or add a red. And if it's a black and a yellow, I can do early repayment. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take 2 income and borrowing money, and I'm adding a black to the bag. Now, if there's only one, if that black happens to be the only remainder one, then I ignore it. Okay, so we've drawn black and yellow then. So that's early repayments. I'm going to spend this yellow to remove this or cuts. And then our final one in the bag is the blue, and nothing happens. That just comes here. So end of the year then, have we won? No, we've still got a lot of debt to pay. Collect tax revenue, no chance. We're way down there on employment. Advance cards, no. So we're adjusting the wealth towards employment, so it's going down. We're adjusting the health towards public safety, so that's going up. And our popularity towards wealth first, which is the same, and then health, which is the same. So that's how we look at the moment. Now, we put all these back in the bag here, and these 2 as well, and we leave our treasury. That'll never go in the bag. So we've got a lot of yellows in there, but a lot of debt as well. So let's see what happens. A good shuffle. 2 out. Can we survive this, folks? Oh, that's a good start. So budget surplus, increase wealth by 1. We may spend both to fund an already funded, which we're not going to do. But what we are going to do is spend 1 to increase employment. And we're going to add more to the social welfare, folks. Hopefully you'll witness this payoff. Right, 2 more. Oh, 3 came out. Whoops, I'll get another 2. That's not gone well, has it? Economic downturn. So we're increasing the cuts on all these establishments, and they're down. Okay, that wasn't a great start. Oh, and reduce wealth by 1 as well. So wealth has gone down. 2 more. We have got welfare cheat crackdown. So either remove a white or increase employment by 1 and decrease popularity. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna increase popularity and increase employment and decrease popularity. We'll take that. I want to keep those whites there. Okay, we should have some yellows coming out. Double yellow again. Okay, we are going to. So we're going to fund the police, and then we're going to pop this in our treasury for now. Well, interesting. You can put it in the used pile, because you can see I've maxed out the spends on these various organisations at the bottom. Now, if I do put it in the treasury, I can't then spend that Well, I can spend it when the word spend comes out, but I can't use it to cycle through the bag, so I might want to put that in the use section. I'm happy with just the one in the treasury for now. Okay. He says, black and red. So decrease popularity by 1, then cuts. Oh, we're not getting very popular, are we? And our cuts, we're going to go national security. I need that popularity to go. Oh, not again. Right, okay. Decrease popularity by 1 and cuts, folks. This is looking unhealthy. Right, we've gone all the way down there, which means we're adding another red. Wow, I've not seen popularity go down this quick before. Could all be over. What we got? Early repayment time. Spending this. Now, I can spend from my treasury, which I'm going to, well, no, I'm not going to do, because it would free up this income. I've kind of utilised all them already, so it'd only go into the use. So I think I am going to remove this income in the current section for that debt. So that's gone. Right, white. I need double white, really. What we got? White and red. Well, decrease employment by 1. Right, let's have a look in the bag then. This is what we got. We got a few yellows and some reds. Oh, tricky. Oh, at the top here. So we got white and blue. Well, either remove the white or increase employment and decrease. So I'm not doing that. I'm going to have to remove the white or increase them. Yeah, that's a shame. Worked hard to get that white in there. What we got then? Yellow and a red. Either remove an income and a red or increase popularity by 1. We're going to have to do that to survive. And add more debt. We're going in debt, folks. Okay, so we've still got these. I'm going to put that there rather than the treasury, and I'm going to have a sneaky peek in the bag. We've got yellows and blacks. Okay, I'm just going to roll with it. I don't think I'm going to borrow money. Okay, yellow and red again. Oh, this ain't too bad. So we can either remove these two or increase popularity by 1. We're just going to have to get our popularity and get the debt. And again, I'm plonking that in there. Now, there's a lot of reds. I've got 2 more left in the bag. So I know the outcome then, which is interesting in this game, being able to look in the bag. So I've got the yellow in the bag, so I know what's going to happen. Now, if I do borrow 2 and add another black to the bag, there's a risk that I could draw 2 blacks and then it's an economic downturn, but there's equally the odds that I could get a black and a yellow. I basically need to get the yellow out of the bag, and I'm not willing to take that. So this is the remainder, and we are... Can I face cuts? I'm just going to remove them. Okay, so those 2 removed. End of the year then, I've certainly not won. Although the debt, oh no, there is a lot hiding underneath. Tax revenue, I've not got any tax because this is not up there with any of those little income signs. Adjust the wealth then towards employment, which is frustratingly going down. Adjust the health towards public safety, which is going up 1. Popularity towards wealth, no, but then popularity towards health. So we've gone at 1 there, we've saved the day. Okay, so these come off and they'll be going in the bag along with all these. And let's sort of see what our hand looks like. Now, we've got a lot of tokens in here, not as many whites as I would have liked by now. But we can see probably even on the income versus debt. There's too many reds, not enough national security for my liking. So you can see I'm trying to get whites and blues in just to sort of mix things up a bit. And we go around again, folks. So there we go. We got welfare cheat. So I've removed the white or increase employment by 1 and decrease popularity. I just can't decrease popularity, although I want to... what to do? I don't want to get rid of that white. It's been handy. I'm going to do it. I'm going to decrease popularity and increase employment and move those down. I need those 2 within my My bag, okay. Yellow and red. So remove these or increase popularity and add a debt. I'm going to remove these, folks. I just can't add more debt. That's the only way I'm going to win, by getting rid of all that. We've got these two. White and red is welfare cheats. Decrease employment by 1. Okay, I'm glad I increased it before then. This is a race, folks, right? Double yellow. This is much needed. So we're increasing wealth by 1. And we're gonna pop that in the used pile. I know we can spend both, actually. So we're gonna add the welfare to here, and we're gonna go up on employment. Okay. Let's see what we got. Red and a black. Decrease popularity by 1 and cuts. Oh, that's not good. So red and a black, we're going to go down on national security. We've got these, and you can see the repetition. Generally, options are coming out similar, so you kind of really get used to what you're going to do. So I'm just literally going to get rid of those two. That's paying off my debt, basically. And we got a black and a blue, which is underfunded, so I can spend or add and cut. So I'm spending my treasury to avoid this underfunded police force. So I'm basically paying the police force, who are underfunded, to avoid this and avoid the cuts. Otherwise, I would have had to add a red for riots and the cuts as well. Okay, we survived it. Double red. Decrease public safety by 2. There's industrial violations. Oh no, public safety. People aren't feeling good. Okay, that's that one. Folks, I've really not got a lot of income in that used section. So let's check what's left in the bag. Oh, that's not looking good either, is it? So maybe I'm going to have to borrow. If I do raise taxes, that's more red writing in the bag. Oh, right. Let's see what we get. Black and a underfunded police force. I'm adding a red and I'm adding cuts because I've got no treasury to avoid it this time. So we've added this here, and the cuts are gonna be, I'm gonna choose this one. Right, I need to borrow. It just has to happen. So we've got 2 here. A black is going in the bag. We're doing another 2. And the black is in the bag. Oh dear, borrowing, right. Oh no, we got an economic downturn, folks. So reducing wealth by 1, and all of these are going down. So this one's triggered, adding a red. Ouch, and that's reset. Oh, move those 2 out of the way. Yellow and a white. Increase health by 2, nationalised healthcare. Oh, health's through the roof. Everyone's healthy, but they're not happy and they're not employed, right? So we're going to spend that one to add a blue. Or do I want to add... interesting. Well, yeah, I'm going to add a blue. And we have a red and a black, which is political corruption, decreased popularity by 1. They're not happy with me. And cuts as well. We're going to go this one. We've got 2 remainder in the bag, and we're going to wipe those out. There we are. End of the year. I've certainly not won, folks. Resolve the collect tax. I'm not getting any tax. Wealth towards employment. So wealth is going up 1. That's nice. So just health towards public safety. That's coming down. They've realised they're not in a good position. Adjust the popularity towards wealth. It's got to be up, hasn't it? And then towards health as well. Okay, we're surviving. Now this is the state of play. Plus these 3 are added as well. So we've got... yeah... maybe I need to go hard on borrowing. We're kind of treading water at the moment, and that's... we don't want to tread water. We're trying to get rid of that debt as quickly as possible. Okay then, so here we go again. Oh my days, an economic downturn, folks. Wealth is 1. We've got -2 employment. We're fine. And then we've got -2 health. Everyone's been smoking. Right, there we go. 2 in there. 2 more. Right, we're just paying the dead off. It's gone. Black and yellow. Let's speed things up here, eh? Yellow and blue. Increased popularity. All public safety by 1. So, interesting. I haven't had this one actually yet. Increase security. Increase the popularity. So if I do public safety, we can see that my health adjusts towards public safety. So, and then the popularity towards health. So it's a bit of a longer term game by going for public safety rather than just instant popularity. I've also got some income to spend, so we're going to go for an employment and move that one up. Okay, increase health by 2. And we're going to spend that to get some welfare. 2 more. Yellow and red. So either remove these or increase popularity. I'm just going to remove them. There were so many reds. We need to spend that money to reduce the reds. Blue and a red this time. So again, either remove these or reduce public safety by 1. I'm removing these 2 so you can see the blues have actually started to help me take care of some of these reds. A black and a blue. Underfunded police force spent. Oh my days! I'm adding a red again. So I should have kept that income probably from here to just back up the treasury for a bit. So I can't spend any income because there's no income here and there's no income in the treasury. So I'm going to have to add a red, and I've got to activate a blue and a black cuts, which is going to have to be my social welfare. My departments are constantly getting cut. Right, black, red. Decrease popularity by 1. Ouch. And cuts. Employment. There's got to be some yellows coming out soon, surely. White and red. Welfare. Decrease employment by 1. I needed a double white, really. And, okay, yellows. We'll take some of this. So, wealth is going up by 1. We're popping 1 here, and we're getting a blue token. Let's have a quick look in the bag. So this is the state of play. A lot of reds. Not a lot of debt, actually. So what I'm going to do is borrow, take 2 yellow, pop some debt in there, and I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to have to take a bit of a gamble. Hopefully my employment and popularity can survive. Oh, look what he says. An economic downturn. Reduce the wealth by 1. Increase cuts on every institution. Boom. We're adding a red. We've survived that. That resets. I just can't shift these reds at the moment. Right, that one I think is a good one, isn't it? Either remove the white or increase employment by 1 and decrease. I'm so close to the bottom, I think. I'm going to have to remove. I'm going all in. I'm keeping them. So what I'm doing is increasing employment and I'm decreasing popularity. Anything that affects my popularity now, and it's game over. Yellow and red. So remove these or increase popularity. And no, I'm gambling. I'm going to keep those 2. So, well, actually, what was that? Yellow and red. Was it yellow and red? Either remove those or increase popularity by 1. And add debt. Okay, so, whoops, I have to actually remove them. Okay, not too bad. Got rid of some reds. So what we got left in the bag? Let's have a quick look. Oh, that's not looking pretty, is it? But I did manage to get more revenue into the used pile. Welfare cheats. Decrease employment by 1. And the last 2, black and a red. Decrease. Oh no. Oh no, I hadn't spotted that one. Political corruption. Decrease popularity by 1. On the cuts, folks, we did not make it. So the cuts are kind of irrelevant. So we've hit one of the bottom triggers, and that means we I've done a poor job as financial advisor to the government there. And that is it, folks. Now, as I say, those extra bolt-ons, I'll just sort of remind you now, because you probably weren't really sure what these would do at the beginning, but, this infrastructure, you've got, every income you put in here, you get +1 wealth. But you can also see it's giving you another option for the black and the blue symbol, -1 health if you ever get to the bottom. Investment, if you put 2 on over 2 rounds, so you can only put 1 each round, you get to add 1. So you're getting your 2 back and you're adding 1. And you can see, potentially debt if you get down the bottom. Higher education, so that 1 will gain 1 employment, but you're reducing the wealth. So those 3 are quite nice. And there's loads of scenarios and all that lot. So yeah, that is Austerity, folks. Give it a go. Go and print it. Get your components and play it this evening. See you all soon.